Hi, welcome to abmbbs. Today's topic is health education and communication. This video is based on the Communication for Health Education chapter from the Park textbook of Community Medicine. So, what is communication? Communication is a two-way process of exchanging ideas between two people. This is the communication process. The sender sends the message via the channel to the receiver. The receiver can also send a feedback to the sender. Then, what is this channel thing? Channels of communication are the media of communication between two individuals. So, what are the different channels of communication? First is interpersonal communication. It basically means talking face to face. It is the most common means of communication and is the most persuasive. Second is the mass communication, like TV, radio, print media. It can reach a large population in a short period of time, but it is not much effective in changing established modes of behavior. Finally, there's folk media. These are traditional folk dances and songs that are common in the rural areas. It's called by different names in different parts of India, like Nautanki in Uttar Pradesh, Burra Katha in Andhra Pradesh, and Harikatha in Western India. What are the types of communication? It can be one-way or didactic or two-way or Socratic. In one-way communication, there is less participation from the audience and there is no mechanism of feedback, so it's less effective in changing established behavior. Two-way communication is much better in this regard. What are the barriers of communication? It can be psychological barrier, like when somebody is sad. It can be physiological barrier, like when somebody is deaf. It can be environmental barrier, like when there is too much noise in the surroundings. Finally, it can be cultural barriers, like when a person is illiterate. This brings us to the end of the communication part of the chapter. Now we come to the health education. So, what are the different approaches to health education? First is the regulatory approach, in which people are forced to act in a certain way by making laws. It is the fastest way to bring any change, but it can be disastrous if people do not like it, particularly in a democracy like India. Typical example was the sterilization campaign of 1976, which resulted in the defeat of the Congress in 1977 elections. Next is the service approach. In this approach, all the necessary services are given to the people at their doorstep, and it is assumed that people will use them on their own. But this approach failed too, because it was not based on the felt needs of the people. People will not use the product unless they feel they need it, even if they are given for free. Typical example is the water seal latrines. People in the rural areas did not use it even when they were provided free by the government. Next, there is health education approach, in which it is believed that people will take care of themselves if they know what's good and what's bad for them. This approach has met with some success in the West, but the literacy levels are higher, but in India it's useless. Finally, there is primary healthcare approach. I have discussed it in detail in another video. The link is available here. Next, we come to the difference between health education and propaganda. Education has to be actively acquired and it forces people to think, whereas propaganda is instilled into the minds of the people and it discourages thinking. Education makes people use their judgment and reasoning, whereas propaganda makes people impulsive and appeals to emotion. Finally, education develops individuality and personality, whereas propaganda develops a standard pattern of behavior among people. Typical example of propaganda was Hitler's anti-Semitic propaganda and his concept of superiority of the German race. Finally, we come to the methods of health education. It can be individual approach, group approach, or mass approach. Individual approach includes personal contact, home visit, and letters. Group approach includes lectures, demonstrations, group discussions, panel discussions, symposium, workshop, sociodrama, and seminars. Finally, mass approach includes TV, radio, newspaper, internet, and direct mailing. So now we look at the types of group discussions in a bit more detail. First is lecture. It is known as chalk and talk. It is basically a carefully prepared oral presentation of facts and ideas by a qualified person. The chalk here acts as a visual component. The class size should be less than 30 and the duration should not exceed 15 to 20 minutes. The lecturer can also use certain audiovisual aids to hold the attention of the audience, like flip charts. These are basically a series of charts and posters, each pertaining to the talk given. There are also flannel graphs, which basically is a rough khadi fixed over a wooden board providing a background for pictures, graphs, and drawings. The disadvantage of the lecture is that it's passive and tends to get boring after a while. Next, there's demonstration. It's basically a presentation showing how a procedure is done. It has high educational value because it arouses the interest of the audience. Next, there's group discussion. Here, a group of people, usually 6 to 12, sit in a circle, facing each other. There is a group leader who initiates the subject. He prevents side conversations and sums up the discussion in the end. Ideally, there should be a recorder who writes down whatever is being discussed and prepares a report on the agreements reached in the end. Next, we come to panel discussion. I am sure you have seen this in the news many times before. It consists of a group of 4 to 8 qualified people who sit in front of an audience and speak on a given topic. There is no specific agenda, no set speeches, and no order of speaking here. Symposium. It is a series of speeches on a given topic by a group of experts. There is no discussion here. Next, there is workshop. It consists of a series of meetings, usually 4 or more. There is emphasis on individual work under the guidance of experts. Finally, there is sociodrama or role-playing. It consists of a group of people who take part in a drama in front of an audience. The subject of the drama should be something of social importance. It is an excellent method for teaching school children. Sociodrama works best when the size of the group is about 25. This brings us to the end of the group approach to health education. Next, we look at the mass approach to health education. As you can guess, TV is the most popular of all media. Newspaper is the most widely disseminated of all forms of literature. And direct mailing is the most personal of all forms of mass communication. This brings us to the end of this video. You can also watch the other videos in this channel. The link is available right here. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe if you like our work. You can also suggest us topics to do videos on by commenting on the section below. Bye bye and happy learning.